right, you put your balance, fella. Yes, just like that.
God damn.
Just like that. Yes, just like that.
God damn.
Just like that.
It feel like it actually feel like a home run, like when someone hit the bat and it just right on the target.
GervontaDavis promised to return to training camp just 1 week after his fight with Roach. As the World Boxing Association lightweight champion, he has kept his promise and is now in his 3rd week of training. What's different this week is that, after staying quiet and focusing on training the past few weeks, he has decided to give interviews and meet with the media. An interview after completing some rounds of sparring, GervontaDavis was asked why he had reduced his rest time so much, especially since Roach had been all over the place, attending interviews and meetings. Davis explained that he has a point to prove to the boxing community, and his rest will only come after he's proven that point. He said the fight against Roach was an eye-opener, revealing a lot about his distractions and challenges. The reason he started training so early was to conquer himself. I've got to tame myself and put myself under more control. This rematch is all I have in front of me, and I won't relax until I bury this the right way, he stated. It's interesting how Roach has been giving interviews and appearing on countless media platforms since their fight on March 1st. But Tank didn't seem concerned about what Roach was doing with his time. I really don't care. That's none of my business. He should do whatever he wants. However, Davis noted that it could be dangerous for Roach if he gained the admiration of many by giving Tank a tough fight, only to perform poorly in the rematch.
So far, it's just like that, so that's how I feel when you actually hit somebody on the butt and you know that you catch them real good, so that's how I feel.
But Tank wasn't paying much attention to Roach's level of preparation. He confidently stated that he would put him to bed and end his career when they meet for the rematch. After the interview, where Tank opened up about his plans for the fight, he began doing body exercises, stretches, and push-ups. The lightweight world champion has been booed by the audience a few times during his career, and to avoid what happened in his last fight, where he was booed for a disappointing performance, especially after the strange incident in the 9th round, he has now upped his training intensity. After his body exercises, Tank moved on to the mitts and punching bag, testing his punch power. He then sparred with an unknown partner before taking a short break. He then told his team, "No break until I break him up." According to a reliable news source, GervontaDavis is already working on his fitness and is almost in peak shape for his rematch with Roach. He's also preparing for the road to revival, something promoter Leonard Ellerby mentioned in a chat with Plaz. Ellerby noted that he understood what Tank was going through, especially as a father. Things are different when you have kids. It changes your life completely, Ellerby said, adding that Tank sees things differently now compared to 6 or 7 years ago. Regarding Tank's recent retirement comments, Ellerby explained that he understands Tank's mindset, but emphasized that life is more than just boxing. You have to respect the fans who pay their money to see you fight, but you also have a life outside of boxing. They want you to keep doing this, and they don't really care about your health afterward, Ellerby said. He described boxing as a brutal sport, where many past boxers have been taken advantage of and faced serious health problems. Oh, they went through a lot of health problems, a lot of permanent things, Ellerby said. Though there's a philosophy that you get into the sport, leave your mark, and then leave it there. Everyone's opinion is different, and everyone has different goals in life, Ellerby believes.
Nothing else. Come on, time, but nothing else. Touch him up. Something nice. Touch him up, something nice. Touch him up, something nice. Touch him up, something nice. Always supposed to be.
One of the main reasons GervontaDavis resumed training so early for the rematch is due to his disappointment with his performance in the first fight. He has openly spoken about his greatest fear, and as the World Boxing Association lightweight champion, he's convinced that if he doesn't change his preparation, his fears will come true. Tank admits that his biggest fear is embarrassment. "I'm not trying to go out and get my butt kicked," he says. This explains why he fights the way he does. Strange for such a powerful puncher, taking in data and being risk-averse for long stretches of the early rounds. For him, it's about staying alive, about survival, which makes sense when considering his tough upbringing. While creating an impressive training montage isn't particularly hard, especially after the hype around Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, much of Tank's dedication to his training comes through in his footage. Davis gave a slightly different perspective on his biggest fear, noting that what he most wanted to avoid was being embarrassed. Boxing scene's own Kieran Mulvaney has said on many podcasts that fighters hate being clowned more than anything, and it seems Tank is no different. He works hard to avoid that shame. "You become this meme," Davis said about fighters who get embarrassed, laughing as he added, "I ain't got time for that." Meanwhile, Lamont Roach is introduced as someone who's relaxed and easygoing, especially in comparison to Tank. Roach, who's eager for big fights, immediately accepted the offer for the Davis rematch. He's also shown eating a mean breakfast bowl during training camp. Roach, training in Plant City, Florida, confidently said that he planned to beat GervontaDavis mercilessly, laughing as he said it. How much he truly believes that, only he knows. Roach is a lifer in the sport, like Tank, having navigated both the ups and downs in and out of the ring. He's a wild card, and when speaking about Tank, Roach mentioned last month's rumor that the fight was off. Was it Tank exerting power to get more guaranteed money? He mused. That's a good guess.
A damn fool. He trying to watch me the first half of the fight. He gonna be down, and then next thing you know, the last bell gonna ring. They gonna be like, ding, 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 winner, Lamont Roach.
Okay, but while people is watching your technique, say you don't get him down and he measures your technique. I'm just saying, this is what
Aside from the fact that it's a rematch, this is actually a unique matchup when you consider that both fighters are world champions, but they fight in different weight classes. As a result, even though both are world champions, this fight isn't a unified world title fight. However, just like in their first match, Lamont Roach brings something very different that almost all of GervontaDavis's recent opponents have lacked, and that's his size. GervontaDavis is used to facing bigger fighters who, for the sake of a title shot and a big payday, get weight drained ahead of the fight and end up underperforming as a result. That's not the case with Lamont Roach. Roach will be moving up to the 135 lb lightweight division for the second time, the division in which GervontaDavis currently competes. This means Lamont Roach is expected to look better on fight night. then Frank Martin, Ryan Garcia, and many of Davis's recent opponents, who appeared as if they were on a rehydration clause when they faced him. This is another major factor that could influence the rematch, possibly leading it to unfold just like their first fight.
Gary, when you look at the result of this, do you think there's need to be systemic changes in boxing where someone can say, as Jackery's told us,
Be taking things much more seriously than he did for his first fight? The reason for this focus isn't far-fetched. The Baltimore champion, GervontaDavis, and his next opponent, Roach, share a rich history together. Their match on March 1st is now a significant part of that history, but there's also history before that fight. If there's a fighter who will truly test both Davis's skills and his resolve, it's Roach. Just like when GervontaDavis made a shocking revelation about himself, admitting that his biggest fear is the fear of being embarrassed and mocked by boxing fans, Roach is the kind of fighter who could test that fear. Davis fears the type of mockery his previous opponent received after being knocked out by Tank several months ago.
Trying to get in his personal business. Probably just showing him that, I could do anything, especially in your backyard.
He had been captured in slow motion, his face distorted by GervontaDavis's punch, with his lips and cheeks flying miles away from their usual position before he collapsed to the ground, remaining there until the count was over. Tank fears such a scenario, and to avoid it, he's giving his very best in training. Roach has promised to teach GervontaDavis a lesson, while Davis, in turn, has pledged to break him up. Imagine the life of a boxer, an existence shaped by meticulous preparations, where every moment counts and every decision is crucial in the pursuit of victory.
Where goes up, come down, my nigga.
Sir, come on, quick. Drop those hips. Nice. Come on, give me that explosion. Rip.
When GervontaDavis selected Roach Jr. as his opponent last year, few anticipated that the fight would end in a controversial majority draw, causing division among boxing fans. Roach pushed Davis to the brink on March, first in New York, with the 9th round becoming a major talking point. After landing a combination, Davis took a knee, hurried to his corner, and had coach Calvin Ford wipe his face before continuing the fight. Referee Steve Willis started a 10 count, but halted it when Davis resumed, meaning no official knockdown was recorded. This decision stirred debate, as similar situations typically result in a knockdown ruling.
They are in talk.
Right now, Roach's name is ringing bells because he fought a draw with Tank, so it would be the right thing to do to call his name, I just don't see Shakur taking chances with
Gervonta, Tank, Davis, and Roach have sparked a heated rivalry that now extends well beyond the boxing ring, especially after their fight on March 1st, which ended in a controversial majority draw in Roach's favor against the Baltimore champion. While they exchanged punches in the ring, they've since taken their rivalry to social media, and it's quickly becoming more intense. The ring of Twitter, formerly known as X, has been filled with virtual blood and wounds from the punches these men have thrown at each other. Things escalated further when they both took to Instagram Live, and the session became so heated that they were forced to promise each other a rematch. However, this happened after Roach received some very shocking news from the New York State Athletic Commission.
reality of the sport. You're going to get hit. Somewhere you're going to get hit.
When you look at that matchup, is it entertaining, or does Shakur make the entertainment less due to the styles with Roach and
yeah, he'll make it less entertainment because of his style. Roach coming to fight.
New York State Athletic Commission has delivered its Final verdict following the knockdown controversy that surrounded GervontaDavis's draw with Lamont Roach on March 1st. Davis retained his WBA lightweight title at the Barclays Center in New York, with the fight ending in a majority draw. 2 judges scored the bout 114-114, while another scored it 115-113 in favor of Davis. In the 9th round, Davis took a knee after a series of punches from Roach.
I'm gonna do me regardless. I told him to leave his mom and, the people home, and he still broke them. It's crazy, man. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad, man. But, it's all love.
Although referee Steve Willis started the count, he stopped after reaching 3 as Davis had gone to his corner, complaining of something in his eye. After halting the count, Willis allowed Davis to get his eye cleaned before restarting the fight. Fans were left frustrated with the officiating, as Roach would have won the fight had a knockdown been given. As reported by ESPN, the New York State Athletic Commission has upheld the result, which ended in a majority draw. The commission's ruling stated that after an extensive review of the footage from the 9th round, the most appropriate call would have been for the referee to determine that Davis's knee contacting the canvas constituted a knockdown.
Another scoring at 115-113 for Davis.
Oh, is that right? So, that's how boxing works. It's sad to say, that's how boxing works. I'm not, totally upset. I figured with a superstar.
However, the determination of whether a knockdown occurred in that instance was within the discretion and authority of the referee. The commission also stated that if a knockdown had been called, it would have been impossible to know if the final 3 rounds would have unfolded the same way. The New York State Athletic Commission claimed that instant replay technology was not working during the fight. After the fight, Davis explained that he took a knee because grease from a hair treatment burned his eyes.
I damn sure thought I had it, especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, oh, yeah.
Boxing World expected fireworks when GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach Jr. stepped into the ring, but no one anticipated the controversy that followed after their WBA super featherweight title bout ended in a disputed draw. Roach's team appealed to the New York State Athletic Commission, hoping for an overturned decision. However, despite acknowledging a referee's mistake in the 9th round, the commission ruled that the draw would stand. Roach Jr., clearly frustrated by the outcome, has only one way to settle the score: getting Davis back in the ring. But how soon will that happen? According to his promoter, the fight is almost a done deal, though some final steps remain.
114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. We gonna run it back.